Hello! You guys having a good Friday? I'm hoping so. It has been a busy one so far for me, but once this is over, I get to kick my feet up a little bit. I still have to do some computer work, but I can do that with my laptop on my lap. So today we are going to be working on the Envelo-box die. So this die, and the number is DI0399 if you're interested in purchasing it. It is a little bit more expensive, but I did want to show you how versatile this can actually be. This is quite a lot of metal, as you can see. This is a big die, and you have cutting lines as well as scoring lines on the die itself. And then you have three different options. Hi Becky, hi Cindy. You have three different options for flaps on the envelope. So you have a larger, which works as your bottom flap, and then you have a smaller that has the rounded corners that can be your top flap, or you have the scalloped one that you can use as a top flap. So that's what the dies look like. And like I said, these are solid metal. This is really good heavyweight die here with this. So they cut out the individual pieces, and apparently I had a little issue with some sweet berry splash earlier when I was trying to do an experiment. Didn't realize it got everywhere, but the pieces are still good. We can still use them. Hi Cinnamon. So when you cut it out, you have the score marks that are on your paper, as well as the pieces that are cut out. And you can see that there are some little tabs that are cut out as well with that. So when you go to assemble it, it's very, very easy to assemble it. You just go ahead and fold along all those score marks. And you'll have these little tiny flaps here. And those flaps are going to be what these pieces attach to. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this folded over. You can fold on the side. And I like to use my crease tool to make sure that these are very sharp folds. This will make the box square out a lot easier. So when you go to assemble it, those tabs that you see here, those go on the bottom. So you want to make sure that that's the bottom edge of your envelope, and you use the bottom flap there. What I like to do for these flaps on the top and bottom is I like to use white liner. So I put it right along the edge on this smaller flap. And then I'm gonna burnish that in with my crease tool. That makes the adhesive seal up against the cardstock and get into those fibers of the cardstock, so it actually stays in place very well. And then I'm gonna put some here along the bottom on the flap and burnish that in. So now when I take the release paper off of both of these, you have adhesive right along the edges on both parts. So as you go to put this together, this is going to be sealed down, and just line it up with that crease line. This is going to be sealed down here along this bend and here in the inside. So when you have your envelope put together, that bottom edge is sealed up, so your card's not going to catch on that because it's not going to have anything to go in between. And then on this side, it's not going to have anything that's going to catch when you send this through the post office or something. So that keeps the envelope from getting messed up in transport. So we're going to go ahead and put this piece on as well, and we're going to do the same thing. Just line up the white liner tape right along the edge where it's going to be adhered, and then burnish that in. So to seal the sides, I like the white liner tape for the flaps, but to do the sides, I actually prefer Journey craft glue for that. And part of the reason is because you can see how the angle is. This flap has the angle up here, but then this piece has a little bit of an angle to it as well. So I don't want any white liner tape to actually show when I'm putting this envelope together. I want it to be straight on there. So you can run the white liner tape right on the edge, but I prefer just to put a little bit of craft glue just right along the edge there, and then you just kind of hold it in place for a second and that'll hold it together. But before I actually seal up the sides, I wanted to show you a couple options that you have at this point. You don't have to use this just as an envelope. You can, but you don't have to. So the first one I'm going to show you, when I made this, I did not crease this top. I did attach the top flap, but I did not crease this at all. I left it straight. So what I created with that, and these were things that I had made for the leadership conference that was in January, I made a stuffed envelope. I don't know if you've heard of these. They're kind of a fun way to package up a gift that's not quite a treat bag, but it's not a box. It's just a stuffed envelope. So I made a little envelope, stuffed envelope, and it just has a birthday card, a gift card, and a little pack of birthday gum. So again, like I said, I did not fold that top flap at all. I just left it open so that it would continue to be the pocket with it. Now, in this particular case, what you can do is you can take your circle dies and actually cut the circle out and make this kind of a doorknob hanger if you wanted to. I think it would be kind of, you'd have to have a pretty small doorknob, but you could do it. You could also hang a ribbon off of it as well and then just hang it from the wall. So the other option is when I got to this point, what I did is on these side flaps, I actually attached a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch cardstock to the flap itself. What this gave me was a super cute little box that's actually a mini album. So this is probably the easiest mini album you will ever make, putting the pages together, but you can open it up and you have a little mini album. Now I have made this as kind of a mini album card. So there is a spot down here that I can write a message and send this off as an Easter card, but it's really quite involved for a card. But on this I used Cool Pool cardstock. This is the Springfield Prints paper. And then I used the Hope Anchors stamp set and the Easter Blessings stamp set to create this. And then I did have a little, you can kind of barely see it, but there's a little lamb there stamped in yellow, and that's from the Storybook Occasion set. For the stuffed pocket, I used the Birthday Pop prints, and then I had the Magical Unicorn sentiment that I used here. And then the Birthday Bash embossing folder is on there as well. But that's just a couple of really simple, really easy options that you can use this Envelo-box die for that aren't just an envelope. So you can see that there is some depth to it. Now, I have worked in a contract postal unit, and so I'm going to tell you that this is going to require extra postage. This is actually probably should be sent as a package, just for the better handling with it. If you try and send this as a large envelope or an envelope, it's gonna get smashed because they're gonna try and send it through the machines. So you probably want to send it as a parcel if you're going to run it through the mail, but it's still a great little option to give a gift even in person. So that is the Envelo-box die, and I hope you enjoyed and you got inspired by some of the things that I created. And thanks for watching. Much love to you all. Bye.